Yo, what is going on guys, my name is Defender Machine, and today what I've got you guys is a kind of different video. Today's going to be a bit of a debate styled video in terms of, if you can see in the title or the thumbnail, that's a big giveaway. Are snipers making or breaking Call of Duty? Now I was thinking this the other day because I actually went for this gameplay in the background that you're watching, which is a Lynx sniper DNA bomb, and it's nothing like a sniper, the class setup that I'm running, but I'll get into that in a minute. So first of all, what I want to start by saying is Call of Duty over the years, it's progressed and progressed, and snipers have got more and more of a spotlight throughout the years of the Call of Duty series being out, and I think that's a really awesome thing because every year in every game there's always that certain particular asset to the game where it shows and determines your skill within the game on another level, and sniping's kind of like that because say if you take a sniper rifle for example, you're limiting yourself to how much you can shoot, how many shots you can actually put into enemies, and how fast you can actually shoot the sniper rifle, and how many of those shots you need to land on the enemies to actually kill them, instead of spraying them with something like an ASM-1 Speakeasy which holds about 67 bullets, and the bullets are quite powerful, not even just short range but long range as well. But if you take note of the gameplay in the background as well as what I'm actually talking about today, because it is kind of relevant because I am using a sniper rifle, although it looks like a marksman rifle from Call of Duty Ghosts, and I'm going to get into that in a minute as well, you will notice that there is 12 bullets in my magazine, and I am actually using extended mags on this, and that should show you straight away that without extended mags on this gun and not an iron sight, it'd be so hard to use because you'd have to land all your shots in right places, and the Lynx is only a one shot in the head, bearing in mind that it is a sniper rifle. But in terms of actually getting the iron sights, which is about 50 headshots I believe, it is a really good gun once you've actually got that, because you can use it like a marksman rifle that I am here, like I mentioned earlier, like one in Call of Duty Ghosts. And if you're going to use the Lynx, just first off, it is an actual good gun, but you need the iron sights, so it is a grind to get the iron sights. I don't even recommend playing hardcore to be honest, because in core game modes it is still a one shot headshot, and I'm playing the map core in this map. That was a stupid ass pun. But anyways, I want to talk a bit more about sniping overall now compared to everything else that is included within the Call of Duty franchise. So starting that off, we're going to go right back to the beginning of Call of Duty, and what all we knew then was just to play the game modes, follow the simple rules that were designed to follow within the particular game mode that we chose to play, and get kills and get kill streaks and design our own class setups that we want to use to not only to flex our playstyles in terms of what we want to use on certain maps, but how we might want to play for that particular match, whether you want to rush your tits off, whether you want to be defensive, or whatever you want to use in terms of like perks, guns, attachments, whatever you want to do. You could be stealthy and use all the stealth perks and the suppressor, or you could want to go loud with an LMG and just be seen and not really care and hold down a particular position if you're playing an objective game mode. And the reason that I'm mentioning this now, and it's so obvious and you're like, yeah, we know how to play Call of Duty Machine and we know what to do when we're playing it and what to use and what we want to use, and we'll blah blah blah, we'll do whatever we want when we're playing it. But I'm mentioning this because over the years people tend to fall into two categories, and I'm not saying this is particularly you, because there is another category as well that people fall into, and that's obviously competitive. But besides that, in public game modes, what people tend to do is drift down the sniping route of going about things like quick scoping, trick shotting, and going for kill cams and making things look good rather than getting loads of kills within a game. But the other category that people might fall into is something called pub stomping, and a lot of you obviously know what that is, because that's why I guess that's why a lot of you are subscribed to my channel, I guess, because you see me on Nero Cinema for pub stomping gameplays that I get with weird guns and weird attachments and stuff like that, like this gameplay here. But I don't know what this is. Is this a mixture of both? Is this pub sniping? I might start my new trend, hashtag pub sniping. No, I'm kidding. But anyways, so like I was saying, there's two different categories that people tend to fall into, and one is significantly bigger than the other. And if it doesn't occur to you by now that you know the bigger one is, it's obviously the sniping communities took control completely of the popularity of people within the Call of Duty community, because if you look on any social media, people have more of a following who tend to revolve around sniping, trick shotting, and more personality based videos, rather than people like Carnage who post a really good variety of gameplays and really high standard of gameplays, but it's not as personality involved, and it's not that fancy jazzy style that like trick shotting and sniping has. And I'm not taking sides here, I'm not saying I'd rather be a sniper than a pub stomper, because obviously I fall into the category more of a pub stomper, even though I wanted to make my trend called pub sniping. But it doesn't really matter about what you are, it just depends what you enjoy and what you want to do the most within the game, because after all it's a game at the end of the day and you're not going to play it if you're not enjoying it. So that's why people tend to just fall into two categories, because they either enjoy one or the other, or you might want to be cool kids like me and just be pub sniping for life. Yeah, hashtag homies forever, sniper gameplays for days, hashtag word. But that's not the point, I went a bit off topic there, so I'm going to get right back on it now. But anyways, what I was trying to say is Call of Duty, it's been so fluctuant with snipers over the years. It's been going up and down in the community and what we're able to do with snipers and how they actually feel within the game, because Infinity Ward, they've always made that kind of smooth feel with snipers, even since Call of Duty 4, even though we didn't have the pro perks like sleight of hand that allowed us to zoom in quicker, or any pro perks in general anyways like commando, or even certain perks that allowed us to do certain things like commando and sleight of hand. But anyways, In Treyarch's games, what they've tend to do is kind of subdue quick scoping and all that type of sniping running around with a fast-paced game mode with a bolt action sniper that's meant to be something that you sit at the back of the map with. Just a little disclaimer, this discludes Black Ops 2. Don't jump down my throat in the comments like, "Oh, Machine, you're such a fucking idiot. Black Ops 2 is the best for trick shotting, quick scoping, no scoping, whatever to do with sniping ever." When I mentioned Treyarch there, I was mainly speaking for Black Ops 1 since they tried to patch quick scoping completely and make the sway so much that you couldn't actually do it in Black Ops 1. And in COD 5 they didn't really do this, it's just the fact that it wasn't so popular back then and you could actually use a sniper rifle as a bolt action, just rifle really, because you could actually take the scope off, which not a lot of people knew, because the first Call of Duty a lot of people will have played where you could take the sight off a sniper rifle will have been Black Ops 2, like with the ballista and stuff like that, and even in zombies if you pack a punch the DSR to a certain point. The point I'm trying to get at mainly though is, despite all the patches and nerfs and every addition that sniping has to it, it's always come out on top. It's always been the biggest thing that everyone's wanted to be really good at within Call of Duty, and I've never really understood fully why to that, because pub stomping's nowhere near as big, but obviously people want to do really well within the game, have good stats and all that stuff, which seems like the more liable option that people would want to take, because that never really changes. In a game, it's always going to be down to the fact of who's better and stuff like that, but sniping, it's always been bigger than pub stomping, and pub stomping's kind of dying out a little bit now in my opinion, obviously because the Call of Duty's coming to the end of its life cycle and Advanced Warfare hasn't exactly been the most highly reputed Call of Duty because people don't like the exosuits, but despite even the exosuits, snipers have always come back on top. So I want to know, if you guys in the comments, what do you think about all of this, and what do you think makes or breaks Call of Duty? It doesn't necessarily have to be pub stomping or sniping, it could be anything else that just generally pisses you off within the game, or you think shouldn't be in the game for the feel of Call of Duty and the franchise that it's designed to be. So thank you all for watching, slap a like on today's video if you enjoyed it, and a favourite if you loved it, and I'll see you guys in the video on Monday or Tuesday, and peace out.